Hey guys, your instructor Colin here again. Today we are looking at Mark Connor's workspace. And as with the last video, it's not going to be as much critique as just a breakdown of like, if this was your workspace, what should you do? What's working, what's not working? So, starting off here, maybe a little cluttered. Not bad though. I mean, you got a fairly unobstructed view in this direction. Unobstructed, an unbusy view, I think would be a better word for it. So you got a couple different light sources that I've noticed going through. You got fluorescent, you got incandescent halogen, and I think I saw another one in here somewhere. Anyway, so with light sources, I would say, like if this was my workspace, I would keep the fluorescent off, and probably keep the halogen off, and just maybe have like one light source with like a just a full spectrum, or some bulb like that in there that's not going to give you like a color cast. So, a lot of good stuff here. Nice neutral color on the desk, not a bunch of like, troll dolls or tchotchkes or whatever that would be. Or I guess tchotchkes, right? Is the actual term, not tchotchkes. That's actually a Mexican restaurant here locally. Oh boy, alright. So anyway, so looking through here, hey, there's the man himself. Okay, yeah, this was the other light source that I saw, was this. So I would say either put like a full spectrum bulb in here, because fluorescents tend to be, they tend to cast a sort of yellowish green light. Halogens cast more like a yellowy orange light. But if you just have like one light source, like say something like this, point it at the wall, put a full spectrum bulb in it, bam, you're done. All you have to do then is just turn this on, turn the other light sources off, and you got that sort of, like, I'm trying to think of what the lecture notes say, something like a movie theater, like darkened lights, but not totally dark. And the thing is, now that you guys are using the Color Monkey, if you are going to be color correcting in a ambient light situation different than what you calibrated in, I think it'd probably be worth your time to just go back and make a new profile for your monitor. Again, it's gonna be a subtle difference, but in this biz, like when doing what we do, you want your stuff to be as exact as possible. Especially when, you just never know what it's going to look like on the other end, but if you have it as good as you can possibly make it, then you're just, you're doing your best, and if someone on the other end doesn't have the right monitor to look at it, then that's not, there's nothing that you can do about that. But if you make it your best, then you increase the chances that the person on the other end is going to see it in the right way. Yeah. I feel like this is a pretty good workspace. Mark in his written portion talked about not having a ton of room to do this, but I feel like this is a pretty efficient use of your space. There he is again. I would say, so if you said, hey Colin, what can I do here? Here's what I would say. I'm just going to pull back here to like a good, okay, no, one more. Here we go. Okay, so this is workspace. What I would do, turn off the other lights, have some kind of full spectrum thing. I would say, if you can find one and put it in here, or if you can find one and put it in the desk lamp, either one of those would be pretty good. Another thing that you can do, because again you want to make your area around you as neutral as possible, some people paint their space There is a type of paint. It's made by Glidden. Yeah, and it's called Seal Gray. Of all the paints normally commercially available, Seal Gray is the closest to neutral gray, 18% gray, what your gray cards look like, gray, that you can buy commercially. It's available at, I think, like Home Depot or, other paint stores, but I know Home Depot carries it. Some people will paint their space. I don't know that that's necessary. I don't even know that I would recommend that. I mean, if it's your own house, you're going to be there forever, go ahead and do it. If it's like an apartment, any place that you're thinking like you're only going to live there for a certain amount of time, you can do something as easy as get a big drop cloth, get a big piece of cloth, get a big piece of cardboard, paint it that seal gray. Just get like a small, sample size, whatever, smallest one you can get, not a full gallon, and just paint that cardboard, that cloth, that whatever, that seal gray, right? Say it's in Mark's space here. So he paints it, right? He can roll it up, and he can have like, when he's working, he just drops it down, bam, instant neutral gray background. He's not getting any like, color pollution, from like, oh, maybe this is a little bit or that's a little bit, whatever. Totally eliminate that. Total cost to you, I mean, cheap, right? Few bucks for the paint, a few more bucks for that. If you want to get fancy, you could even do like, you could do something like get like a big dowel, roll the drop cloth, paint the drop cloth, right? Then roll it up on the dowel. You have, a nice backdrop, have stands on the side, whatever, some way to hang it. Because a neutral gray backdrop can be a really handy thing, right? So it's like a multi-purpose thing. You have it for your workspace when you're color correcting, and then if you need to shoot with a neutral background, you have it for that too. So anyway, if you're interested in like more details on that, certainly you can email me and I'll give you specifics on like, there's some fairly simple designs. Or, if money's not really an issue for you, feel free to go to B&H or, whatever your photo supplier of choice is and just buy, the stuff, the professional backdrop. Now I have 3 kids, so I never have an excess of money. So I have tons of like, stuff that I made, stuff that I, have figured out over the years. So, anytime you need something like that, just email me and I'll give you schematics, and I'm not like a master carpenter or anything. Like a few bucks here and there, you can really make some stuff that's cheap and that's functional. Or there's just stuff out there that is, designed for something else, but is cheaper than the stuff that's specifically designed, for photography, but is exactly the same. So there's a ton of stuff. Like you can buy at B&H for $100 a super nice bounce card, reflector, or you can go to your local Kmart, Walmart, Target, buy a piece of foam core, exactly the same thing, 1/10 the price. So there's a ton of, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent here, but there's always a cheaper way to do it. So, you can't get around like cameras, you can't get around the price of, like the Color Monkey, but any stuff like that, backdrops, anything like that, shoot me an email and I'll tell you how to do it cheaper. So I'd say some kind of gray backdrop and a neutral light source, and like this is like, an ideal workspace. So yes, Mark, take those under consideration. I'm not telling anyone that they have to do anything, but again, if you want better results and you got a few bucks and a couple hours, do that, because I think the better you set up your workspace, the better your results are going to be. So if you have made it this far, I think that the phrase that pays here is mirror, mirror. And that'll let me know that you watched this all the way through to the end. Alright, well thanks guys, that's the last of the videos for this week, but stay tuned because there are more coming next week. Yeah, see you later.